Well, if there is one good thing that has come out of this pandemic, it is that there is a growing number of small business owners who are black and who are women. The numbers with these two groups even surpass the numbers from 2019. And here to tell us more about the recent findings is Orphe Divounguy. He is the chief economist with the Illinois Policy Institute. Hey, thank you for coming on this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, how surprised were you by the findings? I mean, given all of the reports that we've, given over the months about so many businesses shutting down permanently during the pandemic.
Yeah, and I know it was interesting. We went and looked at the data because we had Small Business Saturday this past weekend. And, small businesses are important because historically it is small businesses that create the bulk of new jobs in the state of Illinois. And so the data was surprising. Yes, the good news is self-employment is on the rise. The largest increase is among blacks, 124.7% increase since 2019, mostly black women. And, the group that was most negatively affected by the pandemic and the lockdowns.
Well, tell us what some of these new businesses are telling you about the reason they actually fell into a sort of a new line of work.
There's a combination of factors, right? We had loose credit and loose monetary policy with record federal government support that boosted consumer spending. And that, coupled with the option to wait on the sidelines to look for better opportunities, have allowed many Illinoisans to take the plunge into starting their own business.
Well, what do you think it says about the future for our area business leaders?
So the interesting thing is the pandemic's creating many opportunities for new entrants and local businesses, right? So as supply chain woes are getting worse, right? We haven't seen an improvement on that side of things. Consumers are choosing to look for substitutes, choosing to buy local, choosing to switch brands and retailers. So that's good news. Now, the bad news is that small businesses employ fewer workers than they did before the pandemic. Illinois is still missing roughly 290,000 jobs when compared to before the pandemic, and the food and restaurant industry are still struggling. Now, of course, there's also the problem of Illinois not being very business friendly. The state of Illinois businesses face many hurdles, such as high property taxes that keep increasing every year in the Chicago area, but also occupational licensing requirements for haircutters and landscapers, for example. For example, to require a landscaper or a haircutter to attend 15 hours of classroom training to cut hair is completely absurd.
Well, you certainly bring up some really interesting points here. Orphe Divounguy from the Illinois Policy Institute. We want to thank you this morning for talking about these issues.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.